Hi, my name's Lynette Allen and I run a company called Her Invitation. And this video is for you today if you're a woman and feel that today you did not do what you know you're capable of doing. This video is for you if you think you are worth more than what you currently have or do today. This video is for you if you are one of the 9,288 women in the UK who say they are frequently stressed. If you have got stress today, you're going to want to watch this video. If you use silence as a way to just internalize everything that you feel to stop you blowing up at any given moment, then you are one of 75% of women who admit to being silent or not speaking up when they think they should in their minds. Now that's 75% of women. That's kind of a big stat to throw around, but I've worked that out. That's equating to about 13.6 million women. I have my little book here so I remember all these numbers. 54% of women in the UK working part-time have been found to be employed below their potential. That is 2.8 million women who are not using their potential. And it's stats like this that I really wanted to try and change in the world, because a stat is a stat, right? You get a percentage or you get a pie graph chart thing and it's coloured in different colours. But what it equates to is real women, real people on the ground who are just trying to get through the day or their life or their week, doing the very best that they can, but often the very best that they can does not fill them up, does not make them feel powerful or influential over their own lives, let alone over other people's lives. So I put together these workshops, which I'm sure you will have heard of at some point. They're female empowerment workshops, and we run them individually for women to put themselves on, or our facilitators run them in-house in corporates, and we've worked with an awful lot of corporates to date. But what we basically do is get small groups of women in a room together. Sometimes they know each other and sometimes they don't. But we get them to score themselves, actually, first of all, on how powerful or influential they feel over their own lives. Not how powerful they feel over somebody else, or that's not how we're doing this. We think about their own lives and the control they think they have. And then we get them to consider what they might look like if they had more power and more influence over their own lives, decisions, careers, relationships at home, everything in their lives. A lot of them walk around, don't they? And they've got, nice hair and nice makeup and nice clothes on, and you think, she's got it all sewn up, I bet she's really happy. I know, I've been a coach for 20 years. I've been talking to women who look like that and feel like that, and their lives are not their own. This is somehow some kind of facade that we put up to prove that we can do it and that we're okay. But inside, sometimes we're crumbling, and we don't even want to admit that to ourselves, let alone anybody else. But when we do, when we're in a group of people and we hear similar stories, and they don't need to be dramatic, they don't need to be lives falling apart and on the verge of bankruptcy, or they don't need to be anything like that. What they do need to be is honest and sincere with each other about what's going on for them right now, and if it's okay. That's my favourite question in the workshops that we run. Is that okay with you? Because I want women around the world, literally, I want women around the world to be able to ask themselves questions on a daily basis. Is this okay with me? And if it is, fantastic. But if it's not, I want you to know that you can change it. It doesn't matter what it is. It doesn't matter what environment you're in. I think everybody has more power and influence over their own lives than they know that they have. So the types of things we cover in the workshops are things like imposter syndrome, where you may be somewhere, you may have been given an accolade or got a prize, or you might be in a role that you just don't think you deserve, and you feel fake and you're just waiting for someone to point you out as fake and that you can't do it. We talk about the top 15 ways that women give their power away. Every single woman around a table that I've ever had has laughed and smiled so broadly because they've recognised their own behaviour in the 15 ways women give their power away. We do it without even realising it. And I've had very senior women in big corporate companies come to my workshops, half to keep an eye on what we're doing and make sure that we're right for the company, but the other half just to see what we're doing and to see if they can learn anything for themselves. Each and every one of them, within an hour, has got their head in their hands saying, I did that yesterday. I did that at the board meeting. I did that at the school gates. I did that yesterday. Because actually we're women, and it doesn't matter what title we have. It doesn't matter what work we do. It matters that we're women. And you take all that away and we are the same. We're trying to cope with exactly the same things all of the time. So what else do we talk about? We talk about being positive. That can be really, really difficult in some circumstances. It can sway from being really negative about some situations to really positive about something else. But you know what? If you have a negative thing going on in your brain, a negative loop going round and round and round, it's so much harder to pull yourself out. So much harder. And you're the only one who can be in charge of that positive loop. So we talk about that. We talk about owning and diminishing self-doubt. Don't for 1 second think that you are on your own when you don't think you can do something, or when you doubt yourself, or when you really want to step up and you really want to do something outside your comfort zone, but you don't know if you can. You are not alone. There are thousands and thousands of women who did not step up today because they doubted themselves. And I don't want that for women in the world. I want them around these tables so that they can see all this stuff. They can see their patterns. They can see their traits. It's really obvious when you start to pick away at the surface. And I want them to see that so that next time a situation comes up at work or at home, at the school gates or somewhere else, that they can go, oh, I'm about to do that thing. I'm not going to do that now. I'm going to do something different. That's the power of this. And I love this because I get such fantastic results. And women really grow. And that's what I want for this world and for my daughters. We talk about understanding your emotional guidance system. You know, how we feel has got everything to do with where we think we can get in this life. If we feel happy and connected with ourselves and sure-footed, we can do whatever we want. And your emotional guidance system is your way of working out what is right in your life and what is wrong in your life. If you're feeling down and depressed and sad and upset about things, that's your call to action. Something is not right in your world and you can change it. And that's what we teach, to feel your emotional guidance system and not just scrub it out with alcohol or shopping or soaps on EastEnders or something like that. This is your chance to feel what your body is going through and to ask yourself that question: is this okay with me today? And if the answer is yes, then fantastic. And if it's not, you've heard me say it before, you can change it. What else do we do? The art of negotiation. Natalie Reynolds, somebody I came across several years ago now. I love her. She spoke and ran a workshop for her invitation about women and negotiation. We are so bad at negotiation on the whole. Some of us get really good at it actually. But Natalie came up with these points that she's given permission for us to use this in the workshops, and we really couldn't not put that in. So we're talking about negotiating at work, we're talking about negotiating your pay, we're talking about negotiating your home life, we're talking about you negotiating for you and what feels right for you. And many women put themselves at the bottom of the list and don't even think about negotiating for themselves. We will tell you how in these workshops. Finding your voice, all sorts of things, putting your hand on your heart and making your decision, feeling your heart. That's incredibly powerful. We do that. This is some fantastic stuff. Some of the things people have said are, I've previously sat in meetings thinking about all these brilliant things I'm going to say, rehearsing them, and I never say them. Now I don't let my moment go by. I used to wait my turn. Now I speak up, and people have listened, taken my ideas on board, and asked questions. Somebody else said, I used to just turn up at meetings and see what they threw at me. Now I have my figures, and I know what I want from the meeting. Somebody else said, I saw myself as a mum who goes to work. Now I see myself as senior management material. You can't buy this, right? This is awesome. I've been making excuses in case I fail for fear of getting it wrong, but not anymore. This has changed. We are making waves in the world for women, and I love that. We have worked with people like UK Power Networks, Willis, AXA, CTEC, Rag & Co, MasterCard, Maybe Hire, Procter & Gamble, Brewin Dolphin, the list goes on. Plus we've worked with hundreds and hundreds of individual women who stepped up to put themselves on these workshops. They're 2 days of workshops. Power and Influence 1 on day 1, Power and Influence 2, where you get to learn the rest of it at a different time, day 2. Usually about a month or 6 weeks in between, because you learn a lot in this time and you need time for it to settle in, and you need time to work out how the first wave of stuff that we teach you and you will notice about yourself and other women in the world, you need time for that to sink in. So that's what we do. And if you think I'm passionate about it, you should meet my facilitators. They're on herovisation.com. Go and see them. Go and find out which event is near you. Do you know what? This is so needed in the world, and I'm so proud that not only have I pioneered this particular empowerment program, but each of my facilitators puts their own spin on this. They have all lived. They have been chosen because they've been through struggles. They've been chosen because they know what they want to teach women in the world. They're all different ages, they're from all different backgrounds, and they're all over the UK. And if you do anything today to help yourself, I would love you to go and check out one of their workshops and see if it's right for you, because I guarantee you PM me on Facebook and tell me what you think. You'll have a fantastic time and you'll feel really different afterwards. That's me for now. Have a fantastic evening. Bye.